On this episode of the Wellness Pod, we explore the concept of social wellness, that often overlooked but vital part of our overall well-being. We talk about what it means, why it matters, and how our relationships shape the way we show up in the world. From friendships and community to boundaries and connection, we talk about the importance of having and building social wellness. 36 is your time on Gabs FM Power to Engage Your World. I've got my good friend and esteemed colleague in the building. Her name is Miss Agatha Atlholang, hashtag boss lady. That's what they call her in the streets. And she doesn't play around. All right. Tonight we are discussing, or starting a series rather, on the pillars of wellness. We talk about wellness all the time. This is a wellness show. It's called the Wellness Pod. And, we find it that, we would have to discuss at some point the 8 pillars of wellness, and we are going to start that tonight. All right. So if you would be so kind as to tune in for the rest of the episode. We go all the way till 8:30 p.m. Join our conversation. You are more than welcome to via WhatsApp on +267 3956 962. We're on that line over the phone as well, and via SMS on 14962. All right, so let's get straight into it. Get the party started. Let me welcome my guest, Miss Agatha Atlholang. Welcome to the Wellness Pod.
Good evening, Ross. Moretsi Kolapeng. Good evening.
Hello. You look wonderful today. Oh, thanks. If my mother sees this episode, she's not going to be very happy.
What did you say again? What's mine, I think?
No, when you decide to take on the role of motherhood,
yes,
you must understand that when you have children, what's yours is theirs, and what's theirs is theirs. So you must just leave it at that. That is just how you function. Ask any mom out there. Sweet. It is what it is. At least I'm making the hat look good. It was just gathering dust, in my opinion. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, Lovey. I'm good. Thank you so much for inviting me. As usual, just having this feature, Gabs FM. Thank you. Moretsi Kolapeng, thank you. So, when we discussed having the conversation that we're going to have on air tonight, I thought this is actually maybe where we should have started because, this is a wellness show and we want to talk about wellness. But I think there's a lot to cover here. But it's a good thing that we have now steered our conversation in this direction and are now talking about the pillars of wellness. Batswana, it is not just a family fun day situation where you do exercises and aerobics. Wellness is a huge thing, with structures that we need to observe and possibly first try to understand so that we can practice them and sort of, get the ball rolling, light the match in organizations, in our communities, in our families, and so on, right? 100%.
So, there are 8 pillars of wellness. Perhaps before I get into asking you about the one that we're talking about today, which is social wellness, maybe you would like to name those pillars of wellness.
Yeah, I'm not going to explain them. I'm just going to name them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We've got number 1, physical wellness. We've got emotional wellness. We've got social wellness. We've got financial wellness. We've got intellectual wellness. We've got spiritual wellness. We've got occupational wellness. And we've got environmental wellness.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right. So those are the pillars that we need to be cognizant of as we go about our daily lives.
Absolutely. Those are the areas of your life. And as a result, you need to nourish all those areas of your life. Instead of just focusing on one. What we usually do is focus on the financial and the occupational.
Right.
And we completely forget about all the other pillars, not understanding that all these pillars work hand in hand to make you you are integrated, you're living a meaningful life that you actually enjoy.
Right. So I want to ask you kind of a zesty question, a spicy question, before I get into asking you what social wellness is. What is the reason we're starting with social wellness, Agatha?
One of the reasons we're starting with social wellness is because social wellness, first and foremost, is your ability to forge and to create meaningful relationships, face-to-face relationships. And we're starting with social wellness because this seems to be a very
an area we're struggling with. I've just been on Facebook and somebody was just sharing and said, hey, it's a relationship. There's a couple here, they're fighting, baby mama, baby daddy, it's just drama, and our inability to just relate sente, relate batho. Then you have the issue ya gore we are struggling to relate sente hape le mo di officing batho ba re berekang le bone. We're struggling to relate sente le di family members. We're struggling to relate sente le matitjhara kwa le rona re le batsadi. We are struggling to relate le mo di kerekeng tota, we're struggling to relate really ditsala. So social wellness, like we're saying, our ability to live together, to coexist sente in a way we are adding to other people, they are adding to us.
Right.
Yeah.
So we seem to be kind of in a deficit of social wellness where we are in Botswana right now.
We are unwell when it comes to that pillar, and it's a very important pillar in that if it is not nourished, it affects how we show up in our homes, in our relationships, in our offices. This is where the toxic environment comes from, working environment comes from. Social wellness.
Right. Yeah. So we are going to get into sort of where social wellness plays a part in our lives. Like you're saying, and those different structures. Yes. But I want to first get us to discuss something that is, it's kind of like an elephant in all our rooms.
Yep.
And it is the monster of social media, right? That is where Batswana have seen or found a place to be able to express themselves.
Yes.
This is where we relate with each other. This is where we meet people, we connect, and we talk, and we basically sort of have formed a livelihood around social media, right?
Yes.
How now does social wellness play in, or, can we talk about social wellness as it pertains to social media, especially in Botswana?
Now, here is the situation. How do we work social wellness? We are talking about face-to-face interaction.
Right.
We are not talking about avatars.
Yeah.
And
Right.
But they're behind keyboards.
Thumb thugs.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. So really, it's very dangerous for us to think that in that space, social media, we will find friends or people who will really feel what we're feeling as we express the disgruntlement tsa rona ake mo malapeng ake politically ake socially hela so it's the wrong space to be airing out your dirt and your laundry.
You think so?
It is 100% the wrong place. Those people don't know who you are. You don't know who they are. They're not coming in their true selves, in their authentic selves. They are so
that actually was going to be my next question. Please don't lose your train of thought. There is a lot of people, Agatha, who maintain and insist that their social media personalities are just them playing around. They like to claim, don't take what I say on social media seriously because is it possible for someone really to have a personality on social media that isn't their actual personality?
That is such a big lie.
Yeah.
What people bring on social media is a part of them.
Yeah.
Now, this is why, Keri, you're not just one thing. You're many things in one.
Right.
Which means as a human being, there are parts of you. They make you. So, o re supentsha rona ba eleng gore re mo corporate gore o na le botoutu jo gore a mme gone ha o ta o roga bagolo mo social media a re ka go hira.
This is the conversation on Purple Nights last night.
Yes.
Where I put it out to Moretsi wa Gabs FM. Do you think that it is fair for recruiters to have a look at your social media when they are thinking of hiring you?
Absolutely.
I did get a lot of responses even online that said no, they should mind their business, they have no business being there. I am of the personal belief, this opinion is mine alone, is that, if I were in a recruitment position, I would want to know, because I've got a culture that I need to maintain in the office.
Yeah.
I have an organizational culture that, is going to be affected by the people I hire as and when I hire them.
Yes.
I don't think that a quick look over your social media is going to hurt, because it's going to show me the kind of person that you are. You are allowed to have recreational activities. I'm not, looking at your social media to police you. I'm sort of trying to get a general idea. And I do believe that you can have a general idea about someone by what they are posting online.
So, those who are saying, are they saying that Bone, in their personal spaces, if they see a guy or a guy approaches them, they don't see the value or a woman, or a person, or they don't feel the need.
Yeah. Or even a potential friend. Maybe you've met someone and you want to be friends with this person who really, you know.
Yeah, so if you're there and there's a lot of halabaloo going on there, you are just going to go with that person as they are. And so, manage a conflict.
Right.
Is that what we're saying?
It appears so.
It appears. So it's a tricky one. I really think, yes, sometimes we need to sit down and look at it. But Ubana, when it comes to things like recruiting, honestly, it is unfair to say that a company should not look at your social media page. Let me give you an example for the difference.
Right.
I went viral.
Right.
I do not apologize for the things that I say.
You said what you said.
I said what I said and I maintain, and I will still say what I say. But the things that I say,
right.
And if a company doesn't want to mess with Agatha, that's fine. I trust myself and I understand certain things. When I do things, I'm strategic about them.
Right.
And I know where this is going. Now, you cannot come to Maranyane Hela. You're a mere 24-year-old, 23-year-old. You're a student, you are starting your life. Excuse me, I'm 43 years old. I've already amassed a certain reputation. There are people who actually don't mind that, Agatha. So I've set myself up. When you are young, because you're still growing.
Right.
And you're going to grow in your profession.
Yeah.
So you've got to be careful.
And you're going to grow as a person. This personality now might be the one that sticks more and also in Chile years and years ago. So people still associate you with that persona that you put on social media.
How do you get cancelled at 24? Better when I cancelled at 40.
If you're being cancelled at 40.
If you're being cancelled at 40, you've had 20 good years of working and doing whatever it is that I started, let's say 16 years, because I started working when I was 24 years old. And I'm running my own business. I've also got clients outside of the country.
Right.
So, o ka re o le ngwana a Motswana o pepereta mo social media o bo khona go bona di client ko nte ko mahatsheng o dualwa ka di US dollar le di euro. People think about these things, you know, and we've got a situation where long bana o ka re ga re ba ruti sente. So going back to this whole thing, social media, it's very dangerous. I always tell my PA, because we have conversations together, ke moraikere o bona the way nna ke ntseng ka teng le the way I come off, or whatever surrounds me, be controversy, be people loving me, or whatever it is. I have had a good 15 years of my life. I've enjoyed my life. I have built my business. Mo social media.
Yeah.
So, you see, the lack of consciousness and self-awareness
is what's contributing to the demise of social wellness, Botswana. We are going to get into, social wellness as it pertains to the family structure and all these other really important structures where we need to see social wellness thriving, but we seem not to, right? We're going to take a break and then get into that just after this. 7:49 is your time on Gabs FM, Power to Engage Your World. You are tuned into the Wellness Pod, and we do this every Thursday on Purple Nights between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. I'm with my good friend and colleague, Miss Agatha Atlholang, certified wellness coach. All right, please join our discussion via WhatsApp +267 3956 962 or on SMS on 14962 as well. A message coming in from Uncle J Ping saying, Ross, Agatha is spot on. You are spot on, my lady. 7:50 is your time. Good evening.
That's what you're tuned into right now. We've opened up this lovely space. What can I call this space, actually? It's a healing space. I really believe this is a healing space.
Yeah.
And we have community building conversations on here. Difficult conversations that we need to have as a country, Hela, intimately and, openly as well.
Yeah.
Tonight we are discussing social wellness. It's one of the 8 pillars of wellness that we will be discussing in a series over the next few episodes of the Wellness Pod. And if you are joining us tonight, then we are so grateful for your presence. If you could stick around all the way till 8:30 when this feature ends, then we would be most grateful as well for your interaction on WhatsApp. +267 3956 962 is the number to WhatsApp or dial in order to throw in a comment or even ask a question, right? Before the break, we explained what social wellness is, right? The ability for you and I as people to interact, coexist, and live harmoniously with one another.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And, we also talked about what role social wellness plays, or what role social media plays, in the grander scheme of things when we're looking at social wellness, and that, this is not a platform that we can just casually abuse, right? Let's talk then, Agatha, about oversharing on social media, because that seems to be the theme of, what we are currently experiencing online.
Okay, I'm going to touch on a couple of things. Oversharing, a re simolole ka one ya di-relationship pa gaetsho.
Okay.
Hey, Batswana, di tsenya mo social media ka di-relationship pa gaetsho. O itse re ro sekgang ya menna e le 1 wa bona. Ha Agatha le 43 a nyetswe ke a gentleman o ileng gore o 47. Gore first of all le ba dingwaga tseo. Re ba tona. We've got the average person how cross 35 o setse o le motona, you've got 35 years left. So how setse o betsa bo mafuti yana, o mosadi mogolo o monna mogolo, you are old, guys. So mo go reelang gore there should be a certain level of consciousness and awareness. This is why the last time ne re bua ka dikganya go tsena mo di staging tsa botshelo ha o le motho. So we assume gore Agatha o 43 le re wa gago o 47 kana o 50 o bana le bothale jwa go itse gore ba ka bua eng kae ba ka ske ba bua yang ebile dio tsa ba di tsenya mo maranyaneng di tota di raya bana di reng. One of the reasons young people today are so afraid of marriages is because of the nonsense that we put on social media. Ka manyalo a rona re le batona.
No, marriage does get a bad rep, a very bad one.
I have coached young people. They are afraid of marriage because of the things that they see on social media. Now, hari dirayana, re setse re ipolaela an institution e nong gore ra e thoka for dikhumo le go godisa ngwana senta gore ka moso e nne motho a boleng o ka servang community ya gagwe. That is the first thing. And then you have a situation in gore ga re ntse re overshare yana tsetsi eno re posta ke nna yo ke na le Thomas, next month ke na le Kapo, another month ke na le Joseha, ka moso ke na le Tebogo. Okay, so obviously these 4 guys, I have had some sort of sexual relations le one.
That is what one would assume.
Yes. I kere ke nna ke re be.
So
in this day and age ke mo nna le motho hela. Ya no, ha ile gore bo be ba sikisi ba 7 ba 10. What is that saying about my body count? And the man who looks at me and thinks, but she's actually quite pretty. Ha ta mpona ke le nosi. Ha ta tsena mo maranyaneng a itela banna ba le 20 ba. O ipotsa re batho ba modimo. Shana se sentenyane me hela tota ke tsa so kgona se se
ba dilitiwa Agatha gao
maitso. Social media has receipts. This is the other thing that we don't know.
The internet is forever.
Maloba. There was a viral post of me going around. Elong gore ke 2021. Misa le ke dilita diwe tse tsothetse. Receipts, my girl. Sa akere motho lo go na le motho kwa o sa bolong go tsa video ba e ba ka gore ne mo khathile. Ya no we itse 10 years later.
Yeah.
So here is the thing.
True.
Ya gore how ntso o overshare yana a wa itse re ka moso ha o setse o dule mo bongwananyaneng jo jwa gago jo o setse o gola yanong o fila gore ke na go settle down o to nyalwa ke ma o to bona ke ma wena o le mo exactly wena o le motho a re o nna o le mo ditaging mo o nna o rogana mo di social media hela guys 30 is coming for you, 40 is coming for you, 50 is coming for you, 60 is coming for you, 70 is coming for you.
Yeah.
So The way re senang maranyane etiquette ka teng, it's disturbing. But me wa khona go lemoga gore, where is this coming from, Ross? Gore ko malapeng we are not allowed to vent. Secondly, we're not going for therapy. If you are going for therapy and life coaching, you will know where to vent.
Why are we like this?
Exactly. Social media is a place e leng gore o tshwanetse gore o bo rekisa kgwebo ya gago. O tshwanetse wa connecta le batho ba ba kgakala kwa ba e leng gore o ka nna le ditsala le bone wa interacta le bone. Social media is not a place for you gore o tholo o tsotse mo maranyene. Kana o ska lebala Ross, if you come out like that, not dressed sente, what women don't understand is that you are actually not attracting alphas. You are attracting beta males. The men who are going to make you a baby mama and then kamoso ba go togela. O check inbox ya go yo to bone gore ke bo mang ba e leng gore ba go ra ba re hi.
This is just gold for me.
You know what I'm saying? Women have this tendency of being on social media, showing themselves, and they honestly think they're going to attract a high value man. Mo maranyaneng ga gona sepe seo. The men you're looking for are in spaces they are sophisticated. Be sophisticated, my girl. Get an education. Speak.
So let's go back to, by the way, if you are, we're actually going to take a call now, all right? Gabs FM, good evening. Hello. Gabs FM, hello. Hello, you're live on Gabs FM.
Hello.
Dumela ra le kae? Yui network ga e teng. 3956-962. If that gentleman could call us back, if he was even trying to reach us, because maybe he wasn't.
So basically, Ross, let's stop oversharing, guys. Let us put positive things out there.
So ne ke batla go botsa Agatha before we took that caller. By the way, 3956-962 is where you can join our discussion. We're also on that line on WhatsApp, all right? This discussion is absolutely open to you. We are having it together, right? I want to know, Agatha, you are saying the reason that we overshare on social media is because we don't have platforms to air out, what's on our chest.
Yeah.
Is that all, or is there now an external influence from the Western world? I think sometimes we adopt behaviors that don't fit our cultures, our social strategies, our structures.
You are very right, Ross, in that Maranyane is not the problem.
People are the problem.
People and how they are socialized. Ross, there are people who have never ever gone into Maranyane go leba porn. Then there are those who live there. So, ako nthalosetse ka thinking ya these two people. Ke batho ba le one ba mo Maranyaneng bothi. Mme o mongwe go raela gore there's a way a itebellang ka teng yo sa tsene mo phone yo a itebella in a way e leng gore ene o bata positive things that are coming into his or her mind.
Right. Via social media.
Via social media.
Internet, access to.
So the issue is not policing social media and telling people not to load the netutsa, the pages, the pony, the idea is godisa ngwana in a way e leng gore o kgona go lemoga the difference between what to consume and what not to consume. Gompieno yana, Ross. Okay, and this is not me trying to be on some, hey, I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. But at my age, there's a way I was socialized.
Right.
We are not putting these messages across anymore. We are glorifying and then we get surprised. Kamoso, the issue, mano mo di social media, because ha go sena molao. Ha go sena molao mo Botswana. Ibile Batswana ba itse so, and then they are the ones who are still going to complain. Social media is not the problem. The West is not the problem. The problem is how we are socializing our children and not introducing them to healthy lifestyles, because we ourselves as aunts, as moms, as dads, as uncles, ba bona ka rona rose.
Okay, so then how do we manage social wellness in these structures? Yes. And you know, let's just try to break that down before we take another break.
Relationship,
yes,
man and woman. There's a way that you are raised, Ross. There are certain values. When a man and a woman come together, we assume
yeah.
We assume lerato keng, gore empathy keng, gore tshela sente le batho, ha go kwa itse re ka mosoto o batho ka kae. Right. So basically what we're doing here, as we socialize bana, re ba seta up for social wellness e siame mo di relationship. So na kanyame ke gore ha ile gore we are going to come together as men and women to start families. And we're not looking at who we are, and we're not trying to build ourselves, and we're not teaching ourselves how to relate. How are we going to build a meaningful marriage, a purposeful marriage, one of respect, one that generates generational wealth, one that's going to create a legacy, and one that people can look at, emulate, and be on some. These are our role models. So social wellness is a mala. Gore ko malapeng ha re le di individually re godisiwa yang. So there can be no social wellness in the relationship if the way we are raised does not promote that. So that's the first place. Then ha re tswa ho, yes ke rena ba re kopane, we have bana. We are then going to take those values tse di tswang ko lapeng tse re di rutilweng ke batsadi ba rona e be re di thela mo baneng, re ruta bana gore batho ba tshedisanya mmogo jang. Bana ba ha ba ntse ba gola yana re ba isa ko kerekeng, bana ba ha ba ntse ba gola yana re ba isa ko diphakeng ba tshameka le bana ba bangwe, re ba isa di feiting, re ba isa di sports gala, re ba isa di all these recreational places where these kids now are going to learn how to interact with people outside of their home. It is healthy for children to go out and socialize with others, because they then learn that there are people who are not like mom and dad or my siblings. And how do I learn how to live with these people?
That is really where they learn.
That is where they learn. So as bana ba tshameka ho, balwa, ba tshega, ba testa, ba bona gore go iragala yang, the parents need to be around there to see, to mediate, to teach, and all of that. I get gore bana ba khone go itse gore what is the right way of playing with other kids, what is the wrong way of playing with other kids. And it's the parents who are teaching this. It's also the teachers. It's at church, Sunday school. It's all these institutions saying, and then what happens? Rayanu, Rayubi. Haratsanako UB, I get a 7, Form 1, Form 2, same thing. Haratsanako UB, Yanu. UB is a different ball game because Yanu, Ojako Francis Town
is the great equalizer.
Is the great equalizer. Yanu, you are going to learn now. Really,
like really different from you. Yeah, I experienced that as well. I think we all did. Yeah. Hey, man.
Now, you are going to have to learn how to build relationships. You're in the deep end. You have to be around people by long they are going to add to you. Social wellness. Yeah, like a mingla le batho ba ba sa nnang sente kana ere ha mingla le bone a ba tsa wa ke pheo 2 minutes a sa khone go tswa ha sna na le ma gore ha gone ha my grades are everything is going north, south.
Right.
So the inability to see that and to recognize, I'm actually here for school and I do have a future, and my parents are actually riding on the fact that I'm going to become somebody someday.
Right.
For me, not for batsadi ba me. So the social wellness is the adolescent's ability to do what? To interact with batho ba ileng gore ke ba boleng. Batho ba boleng, we're not talking about people who don't party. We're not talking about people who are not drinking alcohol. We're talking about people who know how to manage themselves.
Right.
in those recreational spaces.
Hey.
Hey, that's what we're talking about.
And Agatha, and please don't lose your train of thought. The reason why varsity also is a crucial space, you know, I don't think we talk about it enough. You know, is because now the reins are loosened more. Exactly. The leash is shortened. Hatiking is lengthened. Because go university, how would we go? You just go to school and you know it is what it is. If you don't show up to a lecture, the lecture doesn't take a register asking for Agatha guy.
100%.
You are literally on your own.
We call it weaning wana off lebelela ku gai. So now the child is learning responsibility.
And it will manifest how that child has been socialized.
Exactly. Betty comes to town and
FD. Pregnancy.
All sorts of things.
Yeah.
And then you really get to see sometimes, you know, parents don't want to have this conversation because they feel like they're being attacked or ganayang. But you know what? Now I'm noticing a lot of things here in this country. We go to sit with children and impart to them. We don't know how to do it. I live with my PA. Okay. Now my PA has been staying with me for 3 years. And as I watch her, that is time for me to teach the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just wake up, oh yeah, not unless now I wake up to something that I've learned. And this is what I learned from it. There are times when she will come, she will do something. I observe this child. The thing, I teach the lesson and I teach it also from my personal experience. And then the thing, job well done. That is how you teach.
Positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement.
Exactly. That's how you teach a child. By observation. Otherwise, how can
And I want us to talk more about that, all right? We're going to take a short break and then come back and do that. 8:11 is your time on Gabs FM Power to Engage Your World. I would like you to be a part of our conversation, please. 3956962 is the number to call and WhatsApp us on, all right? This is the Wellness Pod with my friend Agatha Atlholang. We are in conversation about social wellness, one of the 8 pillars of wellness that we will be continuing a series on here on the show, all right? Getting back into our conversation here on the Wellness Pod. That is where you are between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. on a Thursday evening. Every Thursday evening on Purple Nights, I'm joined by my good friend, certified wellness coach, Miss Agatha Atlholang. And tonight, looking at one of the 8 pillars of wellness, it is social wellness, right? You know, what is social wellness? What role does social media play in the scope of, you know, being a Botswana, living in Botswana, and just talking about oversharing as well. The stuff that we're putting on social media it ain't it, right? Yeah. And we've just talked about as well the different structures in which social wellness plays in. The family structure, you know, a man and a woman starting a family. How do they socialize themselves as well as their family, the children that they have? These children, you know, now go to school. They interact with other people outside of their families, in the church, in the school, you know, in the extended family as well, right? Yeah. And then we go to varsity as people, you know, which we have just, you know, finished calling the great equalizer. That's when you really see you have been living in a shell, and now you have met every Tom, Dick, and Harry that there is to offer. Varsity is where you are now on a level playing field with everyone. Please, yes.
The guys are always like,
babante basadi malating a gona le phrase ga te babante basadi and babantle, and if you let that you know kanya teng e sia ka thogo, then you know that's that. But it really is the great equalizer. Now you are really seeing the rest of your country and your society through a clear lens, right? Let's talk about yaanong ga re setse re tswa mo sekolong, because that's one of the structures that is supposed to socialize us. How do we now behave outside? And you, when I'm looking hella as a coach, you know, the social wellness meter or barometer in, you know, in people by that little period, we'll talk, you know, about now when you enter the workforce. But let's talk about that little period. You know, we are experiencing an employment crisis. You know, there is a likelihood that for, you know, it could be a short amount of time or an extended amount of time. Let's look at now that period.
Nako yone rona bogologolo ne le nako ya TSI ke re le rena le tirelo setšhaba ne re tswa gone go kana ke 1998. We were actually the last batch, and that was the time e leng gore yaanong you are with other people. So rona it was a little different because we were actually getting paid to be at TS. Hey, wait, Botswana no wa tshelwa wait. Botswana wa tshelwa ba gaetso. Go buelwa But you know, now that was a period enough for us. It was you actually felt like you were working.
Right.
Yeah, no, as you're saying, we've got this issue here. There's that period here. The chances are destructive. But then the question is, who were you chilling with? Varsity.
Right.
The spaces because you need to understand what life how depression your only go to place ke monate. Wa go semolla o socialize le batho ba eleng gore le bone ke batho ba monate. Ha ile gore ga wa itshetela. Social wellness if while you were at UB you were not the young person personal development we put a dipotso o bata di mentor because kana Ross you've got to understand how's UB if you were into this whole personal development thing it's easy for you we go the officing some of them were your mentors and they're doing very well.
What is the likelihood that you were in varsity and you were developing yourself personally?
But this is the thing. You know, it's very interesting. You have everything. You have like no excuses. No excuses whatsoever. Today, I was, there's a parent who signed her daughter up. She's 21 years old. I was thinking to myself, 21 years old, I just lost my mother. We knew nothing about life coaches. Here's a whole Mosadi who's signing her child up for life coaching, and this child is in varsity. And I'm sitting down and I'm thinking to myself, you guys are exposed to so much.
Yeah.
So the way you do things, you should be doing things is very different to the way my generation, kana generation ya bo mama. The thing is, generation tsa rona tsa gompieno bana ba gompieno ba dilo ke TikTok ga ba itse gore gona le real life. Real life is going to come there.
But is it fair to say that you see every generation that comes along says this generation has no excuse because our generation, so aren't we all then subject to retrospective consciousness?
Kana Rose, here's the thing. Here is the thing. When all is said and done, the generation it's that's the difference between Rona and Lona. Lona, you think you know everything. And this is your demise. This is your downfall.
Because we have access to so much information.
So much information that doesn't even make sense. Everybody is expert. Life coach, very trendy.
Even world-renowned psychologists.
Dude, if you look at Iyanla is a whole spiritual coach.
She do be violent sometimes.
No, but look at what has happened. She has had to leave. Iyanla fixed my life. She left it at some point because you know what?
Yes. Let's talk about that.
So now that
developing
period.
yourself. After, actually, let's take a call. Just before that, Gabs FM. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Dumela ra le kae?
Teme.
E ra go amogela.
Emma ke now.
Erra.
So Emma ke get so I was interested to what I'm listening to or whatever that is saying.
Erra.
Emma the social wellness. Like
O itse re ga o utlwa le sente ankele o network ya gago e ka re ga e connect sente.
Okay.
I don't know if gongwe o ka kgona go romela, are you in a position where o ka romela WhatsApp kana o ka suta? Ra?
Gore go ba te connectivity nyana e ha ga ka pang sente.
Ntse ga e teng. Just please try to call us back ga ile gore WhatsApp e ga o ka kwa kgona go e romela o bone gore o ka ke thank you so much. Era nya o ka simola o ka simola konteng. Ne ke ro ka simola konteng ra go uta yano.
Like you talk social wellness.
Yes, social wellness.
Social wellness. Social wellness, like maybe our society is in a Botswana more especially. We are living destructively. We it's not healthy. At least like you mentioned,
Era.
So we get talk already. Like we talk family matters. Hard degree family matters, but the most important thing was you start to tell they exist in the real life. So they change over time. But if you got a character, you all those things already that really destructive, like making it friends, you be there to become pregnant, smoking drugs, all nightclubs and everything. Those who can go all through those things because they are there in the world. It's not even in Botswana, like even
it's not just in Botswana, era.
Those things are there in life. But character is the most important thing. No matter where you grow up, because these things they exist everywhere. They are there in life. But if you character, you go to that varsity, then come out, not be pregnant, become pregnant when you're working. So all everything starts with character. The other guys who go to nightclubs, but they don't drink it, they just go there and watch the dance and come back home. But they don't copy the standards of smoking drugs and drinking alcohol excessively. But they still does. So it all goes to character. Because that other person who puts one maybe there on a social on a Facebook, that's how he survives this present life. I'll give you an example. Maybe now I'm doing something different, so I'm earning money by that. And I just posting those porn movies because I person like that. So, but all in all, that's the most important thing.
Character. Thank you so much.
And I was listening, then I thought I should put an input. If you don't want to indulge into those things, you can, if you've got a good character, because those things are there in life. You meet other people who are but you can't change other people. But when yourself, you can change yourself.
Thank you so much for your contribution, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you. He says character is really the base, the main thing. And where do you build your character as a child? Go lapeng.
Absolutely.
Right?
I was just going to say that all these things that we talk about, they are coming from somewhere. You've got to learn them from somewhere.
You do. And I want us to get back into that discussion. We're going to take a short break and then get back into that discussion. What are you doing after you now leave school and you are supposed to enter the world as a functional adult? adult human being. All right, we'll get into that in just a little bit on the wellness part. All right, just growing up in a family, it starts from your mom and dad. They have you, they raise you, you go to school, you go into all these different social structures, and you wind up as a university student. You finish there, and now this is your time to start connecting with people by and are more experienced and are further along than you are in their careers, and aligning with them so that you can get a sense of what life is going to be like going forward and what your work environments are going to be like going forward, right? Yeah. What now comes after that?
Then we're in the working space, I guess. Institutioning. And, it's really, really unfortunate. Sometimes we go into these spaces, and when we get there, it's like your first salary here, you've got the salary, you are independent, you start mixing with all the wrong people because you don't know who you are. There's...
Shall we take a caller quickly just before we continue with that? Yams FM, good evening.
Emma Ross.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm all good, and you?
Wonderful. Better now that you are here.
Oh, wow.
Emma, kere ku dumedise me Agatha ka po.
Nya ke o reditse.
O bua le Young Black.
Yes, Black, what's up? Please contribute. Let's hear what you have to say.
Ka mana ke itumela tota mahokwa ane Agatha bua re kana marriage institution. Ke dumalana le one ka gore kana ha o lebelela marriage. Ke mokang more like a business in partnership with another business. The only way the business they pick up kopanang is only when they share common vision, values, and mission statement, like she had said. And then super the value. Me keso seleseng we hela ka gore ja the company dinale strategy. Le rona mo lenyalo re tshwantse ra nna le strategy ka gore bana ba raro ba godisa jang wa bona yaanong ke re tota ke thuto e ntle thata ke utlwe nkgatla hela thata ke re bana me Agatha ke motho o botlhokwa hela thata gore o ka re thuto ena ka nna tswela re e fa wa itse ka gore o mo tlhokana le lone le ntswe le gore le go e gakolle gore hela ha re bua ka khodiso ya lelapa re ra jang ha re bua ka khodiso ya ngwana jana go dirwa jana wa bona ke re he ma ra go lebogisa na tota ke mo tlotlang hela thata wa itse ke motho e le gore le wena ha mo lebile o ka go khatla a tsena hela o bona body language ore
seriti
le motho seriti motho go godimo ke re ma ke a go lebogisa ke go
That's right.
So thank you so much. It's oh man, we're talking. My heart is white. Can I go and sleep now?
Young Black, thank you so much for calling. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Oh man,
that was so encouraging. Thank you.
Siriti. Please carry us through the next pillar.
Yes. Now we're going into the office space. We're making a little bit of money, and we are looking at our legacy and building. Really, we want to build a career moving forward. Me, who is in our space? Who are we surrounding ourselves with? Is it other colleagues by lebone? Bamo mindsetting o in the corporate ladder because you want to surround yourself with people who are going to add to you. You have to add to batho ba bangwe in the corporate space. So the question now is, all these things that you've been learning, all these interactions that you've been having, corporate, you should be wiser now. You should be able to choose better. Now, I do not understand how we make mistakes at primary, don't learn. Make mistakes at junior sec, don't learn. Make mistakes go UB, don't learn. Then you're in the corporate space, still attracting all those people.
The mistakes are getting more and more permanent as we go along.
More destructive, as opposed to social wellness. These people that you're spending your time with, are they adding to you? Are these people giving you good advice? Batoba Are they critical thinkers? Are they people ba ileng gore ga ba lebella botshelo ba lebella ko pele ga ba lebelle dilo tsa gompieno yana gape social wellness ya re learn to interact le batho ba ileng gore ga ba tshwane le wena, have male friends, have female friends, learn from different people. How ke la nna hela le ho le basadi hela kana le banna hela itute mo banneng banna itute mo basading. This is how you become healthy. And plus, when you are around men, you develop your masculine side. How le bo basading o le monna, you develop that bit of you that is feminine. So you then know how to relate le bo mme. O to kgona go relate sentle le mme wa gago ko lapeng. Le wena o le motho wa mme, e re ha ntse o ithuta go relate le banna mo tirong. O to hela o kgona go relate gape sentle le rre wa gago ko lapeng. This is what we're talking about. The community that is around you, is it a positive community? Is it nourishing you? Is it helping you to become a better person? And then at the end of the day, how setse o lebile kwa o retireile o le 65 o le 67 60, you can look back and say, I had such a good run. I had wonderful people in my space. Then you know what you do? You start coming to Gabs FM. You come and teach us, the young people, to follow in your footsteps.
That's how it goes. That is the cycle, please.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. It is called the hero's journey. You go round like that. Then you just come back to where it is, where you share your story with young minds. You become a mentor. Udradi workshop. Uruta bana ba bangwe botshelo. Bana ba they're entering the corporate space. You deal with people, you teach them life. We don't have enough of these people around. And we need more adults who are healthy, mind, body, and soul, who have actually sat down to look at their lives, seen their errors, corrected what they needed to correct. Yes, went astray here and there. But today, when they look back at their lives and they look at the legacy that they have left, they come and they teach us the value of legacy.
And that is how we wrap up our conversation on social wellness. Over the next few weeks on the Wellness Pod, we'll be looking at the entire wellness wheel. We have a lot to get through. Because this conversation is for you. Thank you so much for everybody who joined in our conversation via WhatsApp as well as over the phone. We appreciate your presence so much on this platform. And Agatha, how can we reach you on social media if we would like to see more or chat to you directly?
We are on Ikage Motswana on social media on Facebook. We are on Ikage Motswana The Pod or YouTube if you want to watch more of these videos where we talk about life, we talk about wellness and all things well-being. And then you can call us on 75749948. That's 75749948 if you want to book some sessions, you want a coaching session. It's
for the kids.
Yes, even for the children, teenagers. I used to feel some sort of way coaching young people. I start from 16 years old. It's an amazing time to start a child on a journey of personal development. And then our email address is info@genuinefitnessbw.com. So guys, come through reteng akorageng bana le rona re ikagehela gore re kgone go nna batho ba ileng gore ka moso we can look back at our society and say, we contributed to the growth of Botswana.
And that's all she wrote. Thank you so much.